Every single morning is a new battle, a war between the version of you that wants to stay in bed and the one that's trying to build an unbreakable life. The truth is, how you wake up determines how you live. Greatness doesn't begin in grand moments. It begins when the alarm goes off and you choose discipline over comfort. If you want to win in life, you must first win your mornings. 1. Waking up early is a declaration of control. Waking up early is not just about setting an alarm clock, it's about setting a standard for your life. It's one of the most powerful statements you can make to yourself and to the world. When you choose to rise before the sun, you're not just gaining extra time, you're gaining power. Power over your day, power over your emotions, and most importantly, power over your life. The moment you choose to get up while others sleep, you declare, "I am in control." In those early hours, the world is quiet. There's no noise, no distractions, no demands pulling you in 1,000 directions. It's just you and your thoughts. And in that silence, your vision becomes sharper. You can think clearly, reflect deeply, and plan wisely. This clarity of thought is something you rarely find in the chaos of midday. Waking up early becomes your daily ritual of self-mastery, a space where your goals take shape, your discipline is tested, and your mind begins to align with your purpose. Most people live reactive lives. They wake up when their alarm screams, scroll through their phones, and jump straight into obligations. They live life responding to problems, deadlines, and messages. But when you wake up early, you step into the day on your terms. You are not reacting to life, you are creating it. You're ahead of the world before it even starts moving. You choose your first thoughts. You choose your first actions. You own your morning, and that sets the tone for everything else. Early rising is also a form of mental training. Every time you get out of bed before your comfort wants you to, you're exercising your willpower. You're proving to yourself that you don't need to be motivated, you're disciplined. And discipline is the core trait of every successful person. It's what separates the dreamers from the doers. The act of waking up early says, "I don't serve comfort, I serve purpose." Think about the greats, athletes, thinkers, creators, leaders. Most of them have one thing in common. They protect their mornings. They understand that those hours are sacred. They use them to read, write, train, think, meditate, or work on their goals. They don't give those hours to the world, they give them to themselves. Because how you start your day reflects how you live your life. So if you truly want to rise, if you truly want to lead your life instead of being dragged through it, start by waking up early. Make it a ritual, make it a declaration. Remind yourself every morning that while others choose sleep, you choose greatness. And when that alarm rings, don't hesitate. Rise, because your dreams are waiting on the other side of comfort. 2. Consistency builds character. One day of waking up early might feel like an achievement. It's empowering, sure. You feel strong, motivated, even a bit proud. But the truth is, anyone can do something once. What separates winners from the rest is not what they do occasionally, it's what they do consistently. Real transformation, mental, emotional, even physical, doesn't happen in a single act of discipline. It happens when you repeat that act daily, especially on the days when you don't feel like it. That's where the real character is born. Consistency is not about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about waking up every morning, even when you're tired. It's about getting out of bed when your mind whispers, "Just 5 more minutes." When you silence that voice and rise anyway, you're no longer living by emotion, you're living by commitment. That shift from feeling driven to purpose driven is what defines character. Because character isn't built in comfort, it's built in struggle, in repetition, in doing the hard things again and again until they become who you are. Think of your identity like a sculpture. Every day you wake up early and follow through on your promises to yourself. You're chiseling away at who you were and shaping who you want to become. It might seem small in the moment, but over time those daily efforts compound. The man or woman who rises at 5 a.m. day after day is not the same as the one who sleeps until noon. Their mindset is different. Their self-image is different. They walk differently, talk differently, and live differently, because consistency has carved a new identity within them. When you commit to rising early consistently, you start trusting yourself on a deeper level. You know you'll show up regardless of circumstances. That builds inner strength, because you no longer rely on external motivation. You've built something far more powerful, self-reliance. You become the kind of person who doesn't break promises to yourself. And once that becomes your standard, it affects every other area of life: fitness, relationships, work, mindset. You stop quitting, you start finishing, you start thriving. Most people are addicted to moods. They only act when they feel good, but feelings are unreliable. One day you're up, the next you're down. If your life is built on feelings, your results will be inconsistent. But if it's built on discipline, on consistent action, you'll be unstoppable. You'll train your mind to obey your goals, not your moods. So let waking up early become your daily discipline. Let it be the first promise you keep to yourself every single morning. In the beginning, it might feel hard, but over time that small act becomes a statement. I show up, I'm consistent, I am becoming better every day. And that, more than any motivation or inspiration, is how warriors are formed, not in a single moment of glory, but in the quiet, consistent choices made every day before the sun even rises. 3. Your mind is sharpest before the world wakes. There's an undeniable power in the early morning hours, a quiet, sacred energy that exists before the world begins to stir. In that stillness, when the streets are empty, phones are silent, and everyone else is still wrapped in sleep, you find a mental clarity that is almost impossible to access during the noise and rush of the day. This is not just about productivity. It's about peace, presence, and power. Your brain operates differently in the morning. It hasn't been clouded by distractions yet. There are no text messages demanding your time, no social media updates pulling your attention, and no external chaos trying to penetrate your focus. It's just you and your thoughts, raw, real, undisturbed. In that state, your mind is like a calm lake. Ideas are clearer, emotions are steady. Your thinking becomes deep and focused, not scattered and reactive. And this is why the early morning is the golden hour of mental performance. This is the time to read something powerful, not scroll but truly read. The kind of reading that feeds your mind, expands your thinking, and sharpens your worldview. This is the hour to journal, not just to vent emotions, but to reflect with intention. Who are you becoming? What are you grateful for? What needs to be improved? These thoughts, written in silence, become your guiding compass. This is the time to train your body, not just physically but mentally. Each rep done in solitude is an act of defiance against laziness, and a step toward mastery. And most importantly, this is the time to sit still and think. Just think. Let your thoughts wander, and your vision settle. In the silence, your mind doesn't just work, it aligns, it connects dots, it sees solutions, it plans, it creates. This is where the seeds of greatness are planted, not in chaos, but in calm. The morning is not just about doing more, it's about thinking better. And thinking better always leads to living better. When you use these early hours well, you start your day with momentum. You don't wake up into crisis. You don't roll out of bed reacting to the world. Instead, you rise with purpose and precision. You lead your mind before the world can lead it for you. And that simple shift, starting your day ahead instead of behind, puts you in control. The habits you build in the morning are the habits that define you. Whether it's reading one page, writing one paragraph, running 1 mile, or meditating for 5 minutes, those small actions done repeatedly in the silence compound. Over weeks and months, they transform your confidence, discipline, and clarity, and eventually that quiet hour becomes your unfair advantage in life. So guard your mornings like gold. Don't give them away to the world. Use them to shape your mind, strengthen your spirit, and sharpen your edge. Because when the rest of the world is still asleep, and you're already becoming better, that's when true transformation begins. That's when leaders are made. 4. Mornings teach you to lead yourself. True leadership doesn't begin when you're managing a team or giving a speech. It begins the moment you decide to take control of your own life. And one of the most underrated yet powerful acts of self-leadership is waking up early. There's no audience watching, no one applauding your effort, no camera capturing your dedication. It's just you, your alarm, and the quiet battle between comfort and commitment. When you rise before the sun, you are doing something that the majority of people are unwilling to do, not because they can't, but because they haven't yet mastered themselves. That simple act of getting up, especially when your body wants to stay in bed, is the first win of the day. It's the first signal you send to your brain that you are in control. Not your mood, not your comfort. You. And this act isn't trivial, it's foundational. Because if you can lead yourself through that one difficult moment each morning, you can lead yourself through anything. You build the strength to push through laziness, fear, procrastination, and doubt. That's what leadership is. Not motivating others first, but proving to yourself that you can follow through even when no one is watching. Self-leadership is about accountability. It means holding yourself to a higher standard, even when you could easily let it slide. No one will know if you hit snooze. No one will criticize you if you choose comfort over discipline. But you'll know. And the version of you that consistently chooses ease will never lead anything meaningful. It's in those quiet decisions, those invisible moments, that real leaders are born. Each morning you rise early. You develop self-trust. You begin to see yourself as someone who gets things done. You gain confidence. Not from words or affirmations, but from evidence. You trust yourself more because you've proven day after day that you don't need motivation to act. You've developed the ability to move forward even when you don't feel like it. That's leadership in its rawest form. And this internal leadership spills into every other area of your life. When you can lead yourself out of bed consistently, you'll find it easier to lead yourself into the gym, into deep work, into facing fears, into building your dream. You'll stop making excuses and start making moves. You'll stop blaming and start creating. Life is a battlefield, not just of responsibilities and challenges, but of thoughts, habits, and decisions. The ones who win in life aren't always the smartest or most talented. They're the ones who've learned how to rule themselves. Because if you can't lead yourself, you'll always be led by moods, by distractions, by other people's agendas. So let your mornings be your training ground. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you sharpen your edge, you strengthen your leadership, and in time you'll become the kind of person who doesn't wait to be led, but leads from within. And that, more than anything, is what the world truly respects.
5. As units, the power flag between guys rise compared with.
5. Winning mornings turn into winning days. Every day is a blank page, and how you begin it sets the tone for everything that follows. The first few hours after waking up are not just routine, they're momentum builders. They are the launch pad for your focus, your attitude, and your discipline. That's why the saying is true: win the morning, win the day. When you wake up and immediately take action, whether it's making your bed, drinking a glass of water, stretching, meditating, or journaling, you're sending a message to your brain: I'm in control, I choose discipline, I choose intention. These small wins might seem minor on the surface, but they are not. They are anchors, each one pulling you deeper into clarity, energy, and focus. Making your bed isn't just tidying up, it's a symbol of order. It's a signal that you care about the small things. It's a commitment to not leave things half done. Drinking water first thing in the morning rehydrates your body, wakes up your system, and activates your metabolism. Moving your body, whether it's a full workout or just a few stretches, gets your blood flowing, releases endorphins, and strengthens your mind-body connection. And focusing your mind through reading, journaling, or meditating sharpens your awareness and centers your purpose. These aren't random tasks. They are foundational rituals that create emotional and mental momentum. And momentum is powerful. It's energy in motion. When you start your day with momentum, you're not playing catch-up, you're ahead. You're proactive, not reactive. You're operating from intention, not stress. That energy flows into every conversation you have, every decision you make, every task you complete. And over time, this builds something far greater than just a productive day. It builds a productive life. Think about it. If you own your mornings consistently for weeks and months, you'll experience a ripple effect. You'll start seeing improvement in your physical health, mental clarity, emotional resilience, and personal relationships. You'll be more consistent, more confident, and more capable. You won't just survive your days, you'll dominate them. Winning one morning might not change your life, but stringing together 30, 60, 90 winning mornings will. Because you're no longer depending on motivation or luck. You're building systems, you're creating a lifestyle, a life of structure, discipline, and forward movement. The biggest lie people believe is that life changes in some big dramatic moment. The truth? Life changes when you change what you do every morning. The first hour of your day is the steering wheel of your life. If you're careless with it, you drift. But if you take control of it, you drive with purpose. So don't wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect plan, or some magical breakthrough. Start small, start now. Build your future in the first hour of your day. Because enough powerful mornings stacked on top of each other will shape a powerful life. And that life is not given, it's built, one sunrise at a time. But real strength isn't found in your feelings. It's found in your discipline. Wake up every single morning like your life depends on it. Because it does. Don't hit snooze on your destiny. Rise and lead. Subscribe to Echo of Legends for more powerful wisdom. Wake up. Stand tall. Live legendary.